So check this out, Jesse. Remember at the Cybertruck unveiling, they showed this film of a Cybertruck pulling a Ford F-150, and then it turned out it was tugging it up the hill.
Right. A lot of people have commented on this, from everyone from random Twitter users all the way to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who said that this wasn't fair because there wasn't a load in the back of the Ford F-150.
And that the Ford F-150 was a rear-wheel drive, whereas Cybertruck is an all-wheel drive. So afterwards, an executive from Ford, Sonny Madra, challenged Tesla to a fairer tug of war, claiming that Tesla used the rear-wheel drive Ford F-150.
So Elon responded to Sonny's tweet saying, "Bring it on." But then it turns out that Ford kind of backed out of that challenge.
And then a Ford spokeswoman said, Sonny's tweet was tongue-in-cheek to point out the absurdity of Tesla's video, nothing more. So yeah, they basically backed out of it, but Tesla's not backed out of it. They have decided to set up a fair challenge. It's supposed to be webcast this week. We don't have any details as of this moment, but yeah, so stay tuned to, I guess, Twitter.
This is pretty lame by Ford to be like, that was ridiculous. You shouldn't do something like that. And then basically they're like, oh, okay, you want a fair fight? And they're like, no, but that first test was ridiculous. It's like, what? You can't do that. This is just all for Ford to somehow save face. When I believe the Cybertruck is going to win. And I would put money on that.
Oh, you want to put money on it?
Yeah.
Well, you can go to MyBookie and...
you have a bookie?
Well, no. There's a site called MyBookie, and you can place a bet on this actual event. So when MyBookie first put up the event, the odds were on Cybertruck to win, as you can see here. But now, as more people have entered the betting, the odds have flipped, with the Ford F-150 having the favored odds.
Seriously?
I guess. So yeah, if you want to place your bets, go for it.
Wait, so that means that it's an excellent bet at this point?
If you think that Cybertruck's going to win, which I personally do. I mean, let's just think about it for a second. Even if it was equal in torque, the Ford's going to take longer to get up to speed, to get that torque, because it's a ICE engine. So the Cybertruck is going to beat it, is going to start the pulling faster, which means it's going to start the momentum going that way, which means the Ford's going to lose.
Right.
But it's not equal. Ford doesn't have the same. I mean, in the test that Tesla did, they towed it up a hill.
True. And I mean, that's putting themselves at a pretty big disadvantage.
Huge disadvantage.
Well, okay, so and then there's this other question of just wheel friction. So obviously putting a load on both vehicles or one vehicle, or if you put a load on a vehicle, it's going to have more friction to the road.
Right. I mean, the Tesla Cybertruck is a heavier vehicle, which is probably why it had more to begin with.
So do you think that they're going to kind of like...
I would load them both to max.
So load them both to max. You wouldn't load them so that now they're equal weight, kind of like a jockey?
You could if you want to be super fair, sure. I know, that's why it's so exciting. We're going to see what they decide.
And then the tires are different in both of the vehicles,
yeah, maybe you should put same tires on both vehicles.
Like, it's not a true test, I guess, unless you put it on some kind of like geared platform where the actual torque of the motor was gonna, like, getting into an actual fair fight kind of discussion between these two trucks.
I know,
it's like, well, the first one was pretty fair because it's just like if a Cybertruck driver and a Ford F-150 driver kind of like eyed each other from across the road and were like, we're gonna duel, and then they pull out their strap. That would be the fight that they would have.
Yeah.
Is the Cybertruck would win because it's heavier and has all-wheel drive.
Well, anyway, if you'd like to place your non-bet, go over to our Patreon poll where we've got a poll up to see who you think is going to win. Now, there's been a lot of razzing of the Cybertruck. Here is BMW razzing the Cybertruck, saying
What's razzing?
Oh, saying that, your truck isn't all that.
Okay.
And so they claim that their new BMW X5 is bulletproof.
Okay. Is it bulletproof?
Supposedly the window glass is.
And it's electric?
No.
Okay. It doesn't have zero tailpipe emissions?
No.
No.
No, I think they were just trying to get a little, buzz off of the Cybertruck publicity. And then even Lego has jumped in here saying the evolution of the truck is here, guaranteed shatterproof. Now, I know you had a problem with this.
Well, yeah. Don't just show a Lego brick. I mean, that's lazy. You can make a Cybertruck and people have already made Cybertrucks using Legos, and they look really good. I mean, take a look at some of these. You can do it. So why would you just come up with the Lego brick?
It was quick and easy.
I mean, I'm disappointed in Lego. It's Lego. They should make
They should have a
whole
Tesla
thing.
Cybertruck kit for kids.
And why does Lego has a horse in this race?
I know, right?
Weird.
This is Chicago Roy, who caught on camera the Cybertruck driving in Hawthorne near SpaceX and posted it on Instagram.
It honestly, it doesn't look like it's real. It looks like that was a rendering, but it's actually the truck itself.
Yeah, because we saw it, during the reveal event, and we live streamed it to you guys at night, and it has a certain look at night. This is during the day where you get that broad daylight, like, this is for real.
Yeah, that was super cool. Also, another thing that I don't think anyone else is talking about is having flat glass. Basically, every windshield that you've ever seen is curved. And so what does that mean? It means that there's glare. And so the one thing that no one's talked about the pickup truck yet is that this is a super stealthy pickup truck.
What do you mean? There's glare anytime you have reflection on glass.
It will reflect sunlight, obviously, this big piece of glass, but it's not reflecting it out in all directions. So the problem that you have if you're being stealthy with a pickup truck, which is usually hard because they're loud, now you have a silent pickup truck with flat glass, which means that it is only reflecting sunlight in one or two different directions.
Interesting. So you want to buy this as a stealthy pickup truck?
I don't want to buy it as a stealthy pickup truck. I'm saying the military might want to buy this as a stealthy pickup truck because with a flat windshield, it means that you're not going to be like, what's that glint out in the distance? Oh, it's a pickup truck with a machine gun on the back. I don't know. I'm just saying that is one tiny aspect of why this is cool.
Aerospace engineer Justin Martin has posted his aerodynamic modeling showing how smoothly air flows over the Tesla's Cybertruck. Now, even though he didn't model for side view mirrors, tires, and fenders, he posited that the truck might get a coefficient of drag of 0.3.
0.3, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, put this in perspective, the best coefficient of drag of a light truck right now on the road is the Ram 1500 regular cab 4x2, which has a coefficient of 0.36. Now, Elon weighed in. He said, with extreme effort, Cybertruck might hit a 0.3 drag coefficient, which would be insane for a truck. Requires tweaking many small details.
So one thing to keep in mind here is that coefficient of drag is not the only number in this story.
No, you got to take the frontal area and you got to look at the tire rolling resistance.
Right. But one thing that you don't have to factor into this equation is the inefficiency of the internal combustion engine,
Right.
because there is no internal combustion engine in this truck. So instead of it being 30% efficient, power that you have stored on board to you going, best case scenario, you have like a 90% efficiency from battery to wheels.
Exactly. And now Everyday Astronaut tweeted, it'd be safe to assume you can't lower the drag of coefficient without changing the overall shape a fair amount, though, right? That flat back and flat nose can't be great for aerodynamics. And Elon said,
Overall, shape is good for low drag coefficient. Matters a lot exactly how you trip airflow at edges and guide air around wheels, like an invisible sculpture. You're making this invisible sculpture. You can't see how the air flows unless you have a system that allows you to do it, or you're in an air tunnel. But having an aerodynamic truck will make a big difference.
thanks for watching this clip. You can watch the whole episode by clicking this card or by clicking the link in the video description down below. Now you know.